Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another watch list. Basically, think of this as a monthly TV guide for me to let you know what and when TV shows that I'm interested in, that maybe you're interested in, are coming out. Like always, in the description down below, I'll include links to any trailers that might be available to anything that I bring up during this watch list. On December 1st, which will be today when this actually goes up, we have the third and final season of Lost in Space, which I'm really excited to see how the series wraps up. There was a teaser trailer that came out a little while back. I didn't even realize it, but the full trailer came out, but I haven't watched it yet, and since we're already this close to the show coming out, I'm not going to bother. But so I'm kind of going into this picking up, having rewatched both seasons and remembering now where season 2 left off because I rewatched it. I'm excited to see where things kind of take us. Obviously, the kids are all separated from the adults as everyone went their separate ways when the robots species attacked the Resolute. So the adults are in their own way. A wormhole took the kids to a signal they were following, think it was going to lead them home, when in actuality it led them to like the shuttle that Judy's dad apparently died on. So it's definitely going to be interesting to find out what happened to them. Were they attacked by the robots as well? I mean, we saw a good chunk of them die because of the whole Resolute thing, but I mean, it's like, what about Scarecrow? Is he still dead? What about, are there going to be a whole bunch of others still following them? What awaits them on this last leg of the journey? How will the adults find their way back to their kids? How will they begin to even track them down again, Especially with, it's not just even the, because the Robinsons themselves are separated, Judy, Will, and Penny are with the robot, and the other kids, whereas you got Dawn with Maureen and John. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this all wraps up, what other surprises are ahead of us after the events of season 2. So like I said, not having seen the trailer, I'm just excited to see how the final season wraps everything up. On December 6th on HBO, we have a new series, a limited series coming out called Landscrapers. Essentially, it's this married couple being brought in because somehow the police found out, like, oh, there are two dead bodies buried underneath your house, and they end up finding out that this couple has basically spent the last 15 years trying to pretend like this didn't happen. And it's interesting because it's this almost like, not quirky, but this show does seem like it has a quirkiness with it when it comes to like Olivia Colman's character, because it's like, oh, no comment, and her lawyer tells her something, she's like, then yes, that's my signature. So it's like this little awkwardness because they're like not hardened criminals, they're people that did something for some reason and they covered it up, and there's almost like this almost sweetness to it, that it's like, right, this married couple, like, we've been through the ringer and we're going to get through this together, because it's about like, they've been separated, and so the wife is being told, oh, your husband's selling you out, but the husband's like, I'm going to do whatever it takes, for my wife. Like, it's impossible that she could have murdered someone. So it's like finding out this mystery of like getting them to confess to something they obviously did, but understanding why they did it. It seems like we're bouncing back and forth between like obviously the earlier days of the relationship when they did the killing to the 15 years to the point that they are now, and probably everything in between and the struggles of it, all of being interrogated and whether they admit. It just seems wild and so interesting, and I'm excited to check it out and kind of get the full scope of everything that's going down. On December 16th on HBO Max, we have a limited series called Station 11. Now, at the core of this show, it's about a very dangerous flu that went around and pretty much wiped out a good chunk of Earth. Now, in the grand scheme of things, what the overarching story is, it seems like we're getting different people's stories. Like, whether it's like I don't know if it's like an anthology thing. It doesn't seem like it. Like, I think all the stories are interconnected, but you get these different stories kind of scattered across the place. That maybe it's like they start off scattered, but then they slowly start intertwining as the series goes along. But it seems like it's just everyone dealing with the aftermath. Kind of like a line in the trailer I thought was interesting. Like, you don't even, before it was about trying to remember what life was like before, but there is no before, there's only now, because it's like remembering before won't do you any good because it's long gone. So I think everyone finding their way forward in this new world, having lost everything. And even that guy was like, at the end was saying like, despite this being like a horrible thing, this is like the best moment in my life or something like that, because I think I mean, everyone's coming from this probably like with their different complications from their lives post all of this. So once again, I don't know whether it's going to be a thing of like, oh, we're going to try and find a cure to get rid of it, or like what state the world fully is. We get little glimpses here and there, but a lot of it, it's the only thing out at the time of recording this is a teaser. So we only get like a smaller scope. Like we get like a shots in here and there, but it's still like not enough to really piece everything together. But it just seems like it's mainly about people's lives post all of this. But it seems very interesting, and I'm really interested to check it out. On December 17th on Netflix, we have season 2 of The Witcher, which I'm very excited to check out. I still need to go back and watch the movie because I haven't. The only reason why I haven't, because I don't remember what all went down in season 1. I have the general concept of what The Witcher is. I've never played the game. I've never read the book. So the show is kind of my only entry into this world. So I'd have to definitely rewatch because I'd forgotten a lot of names, but it just seems like, just from what I remember of the show, like it seems like we're getting a lot of that. Geralt still got his position of protecting. I'm blanking on the characters' names. Like his name might be the only one I remember off the top of my head because I've heard it enough times between like the game and the show itself, but games rather. But yeah, like I said, I don't have much insight because I did watch the trailer, but a lot of it, it's been a while since I saw the trailer, plus I don't remember much because I haven't seen the show since it originally dropped on Netflix, so I definitely need to rewatch season 1 to get myself prepared. But like, just from what I remember seeing of the trailer, like season 2 just looks just as fantastical and as awesome, and just continuing where things left off with The Witcher. But like I said, either way, I'm excited to check it out after I get my refresher when I rewatch season 1. On December 18th on the Netflix, we have this Korean drama series called, I'm going to butcher it, Bulgasal, Immortal Souls. Just from the quick premise I looked up about it, essentially there's a warrior who was kind of like a military officer like 600 years ago who got cursed and turned into something that drinks blood. Now, I don't know if they're going to label him as a, because they refer to it as he got turned into a mythical creature. So I don't know if it's necessarily like a vampire, but it might be like a, maybe a mythological equivalency to it. Maybe something that, you know, maybe it's something specifically Korean based, like from Korean mythology. But basically he is forced to be immortal, and it basically, it's like present day. I think he's reunited with someone who used to be like that too, but she got turned back into a human, and then now this is her reincarnation. But he's also going up against another Bulgasal, like I said, I'm probably like butchering that, who's like basically spent this time building power and wealth, and now has become like one of the most powerful people in Korea. So it seems like an interesting like fantasy like drama piece in certain regards, because what we're talking about is old life, you get like the period piece elements, but then like I think there's a lot of stuff set in modern day. But it seems like it's kind of like got that romantic like star-crossed lovers almost element to it, of like no matter how much time has passed, like we will always find our way back to each other type of feel to it. The only thing I could find online other than the I saw some trailers, but like the only thing I could find were like teasers that are like 28 seconds long. Like I said, that kind of flash between the past and present day. But just from the premise alone, it seemed interesting, so I'm excited to check it out. And finally, on December 29th, also on Netflix, we have this new series called Anxious People. Now, the only thing out for this is a teaser trailer, so I don't got the full scope of it, but basically the story revolves around 8 people, 2 cops, and a mystery. That basically there was a robbery that took place, and the cops are questioning these people like, okay, like describe the suspect, but like there's little information any of them can give because not many of them remember, I guess because of like the predicament they were in. But it seems a little like, it legitimately feels like it's, for what we got of it, it seemed like a quirky show of trying to figure out this mystery of maybe some of these 8 people are lying, or maybe it's about piecing together the different stories from these 8 different people and piecing it together like, oh, what, you know, take the information from this person, like not everything's right, but then like it coincides or maybe contradicts this other person's, so like trying to figure out what's the truth behind everything. Like I said, there's no full trailer out at the time you're recording this, so that's what they give us in the teaser trailer, but maybe it's a little more cohesive, a little bit more in like a full-blown trailer. But just from what I saw, it seemed quirky and interesting, and I'm always up for a good mystery. That brings this month's watch list to an end. Like always, if there's something that's coming out that maybe I wasn't aware of that you think maybe me or someone else would be interested in, don't be afraid to leave it in the comments down below. But really, that's all I want to talk about. So the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.